It was an unusually quiet night in the small town of Elmridge, the kind of silence that presses against the windows and settles into your bones. Lara Mitchell, 24 years old, sat alone in her rented farmhouse, tucked between two abandoned properties on the edge of the woods. Her phone was dead. The electricity had flickered twice in the past hour. The wind outside whispered like it had secrets. At 2:58 a.m., Lara was still wide awake. She hadn't planned on staying up so late, but ever since she moved in 3 weeks ago, her sleep had been interrupted. Each night, without fail, she would jolt awake at exactly 3:07 a.m., a cold weight pressing on her chest, her ears ringing, her vision blurred. But tonight, she decided to stay awake and watch the clock. Just before 3 a.m., she noticed something odd. Her bedroom mirror, a tall antique thing she found in the attic, had a faint smudge in the corner. As she leaned in to inspect it, she realized the smudge looked like a handprint. A child-sized one. She hadn't touched the mirror in days. She tried to laugh it off, convincing herself it was just residue from cleaning. But as the digital clock on her nightstand blinked 3:06 a.m., every hair on her body stood on end. She didn't know why, she just knew something was about to happen. And then the wind stopped. No rustling of trees, no creaks of the old house. Nothing. Just a deep, unnatural silence. 3:07 a.m. Behind her, the floor creaked. Lara froze. The air grew dense, thick, like she was underwater. She remembered what the old woman at the antique shop had told her when she bought the mirror for just $5. "It's cursed," she had whispered with a shaky finger. "Don't turn around at 3:07 a.m. Whatever you do, don't turn around." Lara had laughed it off as superstition. But now her skin prickled and her instincts screamed, "Stay still." She could feel a presence behind her. Her breathing became shallow. The clock still read 3:07 a.m., stuck like time itself refused to move. A tear slipped from her eye, not from sadness, but from sheer, paralyzing terror. Something wet dripped onto her shoulder. She closed her eyes. She could hear it breathing. The mirror in front of her no longer reflected her bedroom. Instead, it showed a hallway, long, dark, flickering with an amber light at the end. And in that hallway stood a little girl in a tattered white dress. Her eyes were hollow. Her head tilted unnaturally to one side. And she was pointing, not at the mirror, but directly behind Lara. Lara clenched her fists. "You're not real," she whispered to herself. "You're not." The voice was not hers. "Why won't you turn around?" The whisper was ice on her neck. The little girl in the mirror took a step forward. The hallway behind her began to fill with shadows. More figures. Taller. Twisted. Crawling on all fours, some dragging themselves forward with jerky, unnatural movements. Their mouths were open, but their faces were blank. And all of them were pointing at Lara. Something behind her moved fast. The clock blinked again. 3:08 a.m. With a gasp, Lara collapsed to the floor. The air rushed back into the room, the wind howled outside once more, and the mirror went blank. Whatever it was gone. For now. The next morning, Lara packed her bags, left the farmhouse, and never looked back. But before leaving, she tried to throw the mirror away. No matter how far she dragged it, across the yard, to the woods, down the gravel road, the mirror would always be back in the bedroom, clean, untouched, upright. The house remained unsold. No one stayed past one night. They all left shaken. And every person who slept there reported the same thing. "I woke up at 3:07 a.m. I heard something behind me. And I swear, I didn't turn around. But one tenant, a man named Eric, did turn around. No one ever found him. Only the mirror remained. And now when the clock strikes 3:07 a.m., the girl isn't alone anymore. She's holding someone's hand. And both of them are pointing at you."